So the Fear EP has been out for a few days now, and whether you love it or you hate it, the only thing for us to do now is to sit back, listen to it, and analyze it, and try and extrapolate absolutely everything that we possibly can out of not only the songs that we got, but also the incredibly cinematic music videos that we got. Because we were spoiled for choice. We got 2 music videos and 6 songs, and you know what? I'm here for it. I'm absolutely here for it. So with all that being said, let's just dive in and see if there's some things that we can figure out. So there's actually been quite a divided response to the entire EP because of the fact that this is polar opposite than anything that we've ever heard from NF. Now he's done some quieter, some more reflectful songs, that's not a word but I'm rolling with it, that he's done in the past, but nothing to this extent, nothing along the lines of an absolutely stripped back song where it's an acoustic led, where most of them are acoustic led, and NF is singing. And then certain portions of the songs he's like singing, rap singing somewhere in there, but he's doing a lot of singing on the EP, which again is not something that he has ever done before, to my knowledge at least. It was really cool to see him take a unique and creative approach to making music, because we all know him as this incredibly talented rapper who has a pen of freaking white hot fire. So obviously, any lyric that he writes is going to be insane, or any bar that he crafts is just going to be perfect. But it was cool to see him use all of that sort of skill and then channel it into writing a song where he's singing instead of rapping. And it was a cool medium shift, but I really enjoyed it. And a lot of times too, when you sing something like that, you can add emotion and all these other things, where in rapping you can still, but it's a lot harder when you're just singing something, because you can add in different inflections and you can stack harmonies. Not again that you can't do that when you're rapping, but again, it's easier to do when you are singing. So in the title song Fear, there's a ton of Christian themes and a ton of just imagery, and obviously in the music video you see him literally he lets the darkness in, and then a few scenes later he's literally being controlled like a puppet by it. And that can so easily happen because you just you let your guard down for a little bit. He literally says I'm weak and I let it in, and now you're being controlled by it. You can't escape it no matter where you go, even feeling like you're in church and you can't escape it. All of those are very, very real feelings that a lot of Christians, including myself, have felt. It feels like you have no autonomy and you're just being controlled by the fear or the darkness or whatever it is in your life that you are trying to shake, but you just can't. And then the bar where NF said that he's holding the gas can and then asking God, did you set this fire? That hit home for so many different reasons, because it's one of those things where it's I just did this thing, but God, why did you do this thing? And that one, the impact that one had on me is really hard to put into words, and it's just, I don't know what else to say other than that hit me and I felt it. That one's tough. Same thing with the is this what you wanted sequence, just sitting there thinking and crying out, being God, is this what you wanted? Did you want me to feel this false hope, to show me what hope really is, or why did you strip everything from me? I think if I had to pick a favorite song off the EP, it's probably Fear or Who I Was, one of the two. They're the two that I've listened the most to, after listening to all of them in order. Those bars hit me. Then the song Home for me felt a lot like a song about love and loss, because of the bar in Fear where he said, grandma died. I would be more inclined to believe that Home was about the passing of his grandma, and also too the way that he was writing about the home off of M65. For those of you who don't know, that's a highway. You could probably figure that out, but so that would incline me to believe that he was just sitting there thinking about spending time with his grandma, or spending time with his grandma. And at the time, when you're a kid, you spend time with your grandparents. You're oh, this is a fun and safe environment for me. At least those are the memories that I have associated with my grandparents growing up. That song felt to me a lot it felt a lot strangely, when I was listening to the song, it felt a lot like a more sentimental and less angry side of How Could You Leave Us. And no, I refuse to elaborate because I don't know if I could, because that's just the way it came off to me, at least. Admittedly, with Home, I haven't listened to it a lot since I listened to it the first time. I think I might have actually only listened to it one other time after listening to the full EP. because again, like I said in one of the short form contents that I made, that this entire EP made me feel real sad, just really sad. And also I was having a hard weekend as it was. So it's just like and Home was the one that probably made me feel not the saddest, but like, again, it was, like I said, it was like a more sentimental, less angry side of How Could You Leave Us, and How Could You Leave Us hit me like a train when I first listened to it. So like, I haven't like gone back and re-listened to Home. I probably will, just to, again, hear it out and like listen and actually like do a personal in-depth deep dive in my own brain. But yeah. Then we come to Who I Was. And admittedly, I like MGK's verse a lot more on the track than I thought I was actually going to. Just if not for the entire thing was great, but just the Boca Raton bar, like the vagabond who broke a bond from something Boca Raton, like that. I forget the entire bar. Broke a bond, who's something from Boca Raton. Anyways, that that bar in and of itself, I keep just like, it'll just like play in my mind, except for the middle to end part. I just can't remember. But yeah, like I really actually liked MGK's verse on the song. Like I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did, but I really do like it. Like MGK wrote a really good verse, and then it fit really well in the scheme of the song. So yeah, I genuinely enjoyed it. And one thing that I really did enjoy about the song as well was some of the sound design, like towards the end where like the music like stops and starts and stutters and stuff like that. And the first time that I listened to it, I thought that either my headphones were just being stupid, because they'll do that occasionally, or that Apple Music was busted and just like not loading stuff. And I'm like, why are you? And then it kept playing and I'm like, oh, that was intentional. And every time that I've listened to it since, it gets me every single time. And it is so annoying. I'm like, I know that it's coming. I know that it's there, but it just like keeps happening. And I'm like, my brain is just like, why is it? Oh yeah, but because like the headphones that I use, like the earbuds that I use, like they sometimes will have like a little bit of a connectivity issue if I'm like walking like into my my apartment building, it'll flicker sometimes. I don't know why, it just kind of does, but it's so annoying that I keep getting got by that one part of the song. Like it just, because it sounds the same as like when the headphones have an issue. So I'm just like, but it's funny. It's funny, honestly. And also the vocal stacking that NF did on his verse, and just the overall song of Who I Was, that fire, straight up fire. Like just having all those harmonies and the stacks on the vocals just adds extra punch and extra weight to what he's saying and what he's singing, and it just adds like another just layer of depth to a relatively simplistic song, comparatively speaking to some of the other massive orchestral hits that NF has. This entire EP was very stripped back, so I loved that. I love that he added some. It was very stripped back, but he still added some stackings just to give some extra depth. And then obviously the really emotional bar is NF just basically contemplating man, I hope my kids turn out better than I did, and I hope that I can do a better job than what I knew growing up. And again, I felt that. My wife and I currently are not parents, but one day we hope to be. And the more that you realize how much of an impact your childhood and the way that you bring up and the way that your parents acted and the way that your parents raised you affects you, man, especially when it comes to trauma and coping mechanisms and stuff, it is almost terrifying to want to be a parent, because you're like, oh, in the palm of my hand, hold the power to single-handedly either make a really healthy, emotionally regulated kid or for future adult, full-fledged human being, or I can do so much damage. And that's terrifying, being like, oh, even some of the smallest things can have such a big impact, on a kid, because the kids don't know better, and the way that they perceive and interpret things is their reality. So it's terrifying. It's genuinely terrifying. But again, through the grace of God, I'm gonna do the best that I can to be a father. My wife is gonna do the best that she can to be a mother, and the same thing I'm sure goes for the way that Nate, NF, and his wife Brittany feel. It's so easy to fall into the trap of, yet again, fear, being like, oh well, you're just gonna you're gonna turn your kids into exactly what you were. And it's no, I have the power to do the opposite of that. So I was just, that line hit home real hard. And then we come to Give Me a Reason. And if I'm being completely honest, I liked the song, don't get me wrong. It's a lot like a lot of his other stuff, but I felt like it didn't necessarily belong in the EP, because it's polar opposite to everything else. This one kind of felt like he had the song, it was already used as a UFC walkout, so he wanted to release it, but he didn't know how to do it instead of just like dropping a single. So he just put it in the EP. And not that it didn't fit, like, you know, talking about like fear and all that sort of stuff, but like all of a sudden it's like acoustic ballad, acoustic ballad, acoustic ballad, full-on rap song, and then acoustic ballad, acoustic ballad. It's like, it didn't really need to go here, but you kind of just put it there. So I don't know, didn't hate it, but also at the same time, I'm like, I don't know if it felt like it belonged. But what I will say is it's gonna go really hard on a workout playlist. And then we come to Sorry. And I did really enjoy the song, but what I will say, I do have some notes. So in the beginning, when James Arthur first starts singing, because I think of the way, either the way he was singing or the way his voice actually is, for me, it was really hard to kind of understand him at first until I listened to the full thing all the way through, and then I went back again and listened to it, and then I'm like, oh, I can kind of piece together some things. But for the most part, in the beginning of the song, it was difficult for me to understand, and I don't necessarily know what a workaround for that would be, because it sounds like a lot of his voice exists in the, you know, the EQ range where you would fix the issue that's causing it to be hard to hear him. But again, you can't really do too much if that's the way that his voice normally sounds. There are things you can do, but I don't really know how to fix it. Like, I obviously don't know what the stems sound like. I don't know what the EQ and treatments look like. So obviously there's things I can speculate about, but I don't really necessarily know how you would go about fixing it. But it's just like me on a personal note, because I'm an audio engineer, it bothered me, but at the same time, most people probably didn't even notice. But I do love the rest of his part. Once the beginning part kind of phases out and you can actually I can understand him a little bit, I'm like, oh, I actually really like, you know, his singing. And when NF and James come together and they hit those harmonies and they sing together, oh my goodness, straight goosebumps, straight up goosebumps. And then obviously the entire theme in the song of like just being remorseful in life, just all the things. But also too, one thing that I do find, like, you know, interesting in my knowledge based on my own life about like mental health and everything, you know, with fear and anxiety that get twisted in together a lot. And which to my experience, anxiety is actually like a symptom of fear. But that is a whole other conversation for a whole different day. But it's interesting, like, you know, but I mean, the entire song, like a lot of what NF is talking about, like, you know, wanting to apologize, but being afraid it's too late to apologize to somebody, because, you know, you're praying for them to call you so you can, you know, apologize. And to that, I'll say, if you're in a similar situation to that, like you're waiting for somebody to reach out so you can apologize, if it's at all in your power, you can reach out and apologize. And if you feel like God is telling you, hey, you need to reach out and you need to make amends with this person, you can do that. And you reach out and you say, hey, I'm sorry. And then how they react to your apology, as long as you have a genuine, heartfelt, prayed about apology, and however the person reacts to it, that's not on you. If you're doing it simply because like you want to feel better about yourself, that's the wrong reason. But if you reach out and you genuinely apologize, being like, hey, I'm like, what I did is not okay and I'm so sorry. And if they blow up at you, if like whatever they do, that's not on you. How they react to your words is not on you. As long as you are coming at it from a genuine place of humbleness and apology, you can reach out. Unless, again, if at all in your power, you can reach out. And then we come to Washed Up, and I really liked the song. I have no idea whether to make heads or tails of it, because on the one hand, it's, you know, he's feeling like watching. He's like, did I waste everything? Did I squander everything? Things just don't feel right anymore. Like, and a lot of the bars, I've heard a lot of theories. Like one of the bars, I forget exactly what it is. Someone's like, oh, well, did he like sell his masters? Like when he was talking about like the paycheck and the money. So it's like, did he sell his masters? Obviously, like not wanting to, no, like he fell into the habit of letting the label tell him what to talk about. Potentially, again, we don't know because it's a song and we don't know if he's like admitting everything or like what, but like he's like just everything that he's talking about, it's like, okay, you know, I like music industry stuff, which I find interesting anytime you get a glimpse into music industry, especially from an artist like this. But yeah, and then you watch the music video and all of a sudden, you know, there's this Grim Reaper looking character. You're like, okay, cool. Is that anger? Is that death? Is that like, what is that? Is that OCD? Like, what is that supposed to be? And then Fear digs up Hope, who was basically knocked out and confirmed, I guess, killed, and then washed up. Fear digs up Hope, and that to find the map to Hope, which is blank, and then the Grim Reaper takes out Fear and buries them, and then the Grim Reaper character burns down the mansion. So it's like, what is happening? Like, I've seen so many theories flying, like, was that anger? Was that like actually death? Was that the OCD? Like what and who was that? And that just straight up burned down the mansion. And granted, that part of the music video, that CGI was really, really cool, like with the mansion burning, but like still, it's like, what? I don't know. Like, I liked the song. I don't know what to make of the song though. I liked it. Don't know what to make of it. But yeah. So many thoughts, man. So many thoughts. But yeah, so for me personally, 5 out of 6 songs, really, really liked them. It was different. It was cool. Give me a reason. I didn't dislike it. It just wasn't my favorite on the EP. And it just, like, again, like I said, felt like it didn't belong. But those are all my opinions. And I'm well aware that not everybody's going to agree with me, but what are your opinions? What are your thoughts? I'd love to know them. So let me know in the comments down below, especially if there's anything that you disagree with me on. I'd love to hear that. Because I just, like, honestly, contrary opinions to me are kind of like, I find fascinating, because I'm like, I might learn something or figure out something new about something or other. But yeah, so positive, negative, whatever your opinions are, I'd love to hear them. Drop them in the comment section down below and I'll be sure to check them out. And yeah, so with all that being said, I hope you absolutely did all enjoy, and I'll catch y'all next time. God bless.